Tony, very simply, just give us your thoughts going into this one on Friday night.
Hugely exciting, to get to this stage of the competition. We'd said at the start of the season, as a group, we wanted to go as far as we could in cup competitions because we didn't feel we did that last year. So in terms of progress this year we've made, we got to the quarter-final in the League Cup, got knocked out with the finalists Rangers. It was a tough tie away from home, and now we've got to the quarter-finals of this cup. So got a real opportunity. I believe someone just told me the last time the club were in a Scottish Cup semi-final was 2006. So there's an opportunity to go and make a wee bit of history there. First time in 19 years getting to Hampden, get to a semi-final, and we've already done that in this competition. We beat Dundee United in previous rounds, and that was the first time in 69 years, I believe, that they'd beat Dundee United in the Scottish Cup. So it just gives you the opportunities, and as a team, as a club, we're in a good position. There's a lot of clubs would swap, this season. This week they're not in competition. We're in competition. We've got an opportunity to get to a semi-final. So it's a really exciting prospect.
Is this a welcome break from the league?
Yeah, I would say so. It's good. It's got a different feel about it, absolutely, because you feel, as I say, there's a real opportunity there for us to progress and meet an objective that we set, and that carrot of getting to Hampden in a semi-final is huge. And yeah, you sense a real buzz about the place, but I think it's a combination of, I thought in the recent games our performance levels have been much more at the standard that we're used to seeing from a Dundee club. And hopefully I've not been happy with results, because I always want to win every match, but I've always said that consistency of performance will lead to the results, and I think we've seen in the last couple of performances that's the level that we're looking for, and if we can maintain that level, improve it a little bit, then we'll give ourselves every opportunity to get to a cup semi-final.
If you can get past Hearts on Friday and then give yourself a semi-final to look forward to in a trip to Hampden, how big a boost could that give the league campaign and the league form, with the boys knowing that they could have that to look forward to?
Of course, listen, you use any motivational tool that you can as a manager, and that is a big motivator for the players. Everybody wants to be involved in this end of the cup competition, and the longer we can stay in the cup competition, the better. But we're fully focused in this game. We're not looking at anything else now than playing against a good Hearts team, a team that have won 6 out of their last 8. They beat Brecon and St Mirren to get to this stage, but they've just lost a derby, which is the slip side of that. So it's important that we focus on what we can do as a group. We've had a good training week. As I say, there's a real buzz about the place. There's an excitement getting into the cup tie, and hopefully we can do all we can in terms of executing that game plan to give us a chance of getting through.
Do the boys take any hangover down to Tynecastle from the game you had here at Dens against Hearts just a few weeks ago, or is there an added motivation?
I think there's an added motivation, because as professionals, we all take a pride, and when your pride's dented like that, you want to do something about it. So I suppose there's possibly a redemption there as well to show that that was a day that we didn't enjoy, and we want to make sure we can show the best version of ourselves, and we've got an opportunity to do that in a cup competition. So any motivation you can use to get the players to put in a level of performance, they will. But listen, they're individually motivated as well, and I'm sure if you to ask any of them, we'll be making sure everything that we can do, we will do to get through to the next round.
When you take a step back and look back to the game at Dens Park, I know managers don't like to look back, they like to look forward, but the subsequent run of results that you went on after that, did that result maybe have a bit more of an impact in the group, whether it was morale or confidence or whatever, than
it could have done. No, I think there's a lot of factors, and I think come the end of the season, once we have we'll maybe examine that. But for now, the most important thing is just focusing on a cup tie, and in recent performances, I've always said that as manager that you're always looking for a level of performance and a consistency in the level of performance, and in my experience, that you end up with on the positive side of results from that. And I think the last couple of performances we've had that. So, and with additions to the squad, everybody knows how blighted we've been this year with injuries to particularly experienced players, and we're getting a couple of experienced players back, particularly Joe Shaughnessy arriving, really made a huge contribution, I thought, towards our defensive display. Saturday there we had our lowest expected goals against for the season. So if we can combine that, the experience, the defensive side, we're a team that scores goals. Everybody knows that. Our league position in terms of goal scoring. So if we can get the balance of that right between defending and attacking, then we'll give ourselves the best chance to progress in this competition.
Can you put your finger on what is maybe behind that little dip in results that there's been over the last few weeks?
Yeah, we analyse everything as a group, but I think it's important, that's in the past. What's most important to me is the next game, and the next game's Hearts at Tynecastle, a quarter-final tie that, as I say, we're at this stage of the competition. A lot of clubs would love to be at this stage, so we've got the opportunity that others have not. we've got a chance to make a bit of history. So it's important that we look forward and don't look back.
Team news?
Really buoyed by the fact that Scott Fraser was on the training pitch today with the rest of the squad. So the game might come a bit too early for him, but just great to get another experienced one back. Unfortunately, we've still got Billy Cometio, Clark Robertson, Antonio Portales and Seb Palmer-Holden not available through injury. So, but huge encouragement we're getting Scott Fraser back.
Tony, that draw with St Johnstone last weekend, I know you won't be jumping up and down and shouting from the rooftops at that, but how confident are you that that can be a turning point? Because you showed a bit of dig and solidity there, didn't you?
I think so, yeah, and listen, I'm never going to be pleased with the team not winning, yeah, but I thought the level of performance, which I always bang on about, and the Motherwell game, which I thought we've come out in the wrong end of results. Like normally those type of performances you result in getting points. We've not got points, we can't dwell on that, but what I can focus on is the level of performance, and I thought we got that against St Johnstone, and we looked much more like ourselves. You know, obviously the introduction of captain back into things, you know, because it's no coincidence, as I say, that was our lowest expected goals of the season. So if we can just get that balance right, you know, in terms of consistency, we are a team that score goals, absolutely. You see a league position in that, but to get the defensive side right now and have the bodies on board to do that gives me and the team, more importantly, huge encouragement going forward.
Yeah, Joe's an inspiration, isn't he? But there's only so much he can do on the sidelines. With him being back on the pitch, Tony, I guess he's already showing how much he missed him.
Yeah, that's the case, and I've said that all season. You know, it's really important that you get your balance of your young, talented, hungry players, but they need experienced players beside them, and I think you've seen that on Saturday. I think you heard it as well. You know, the amount of talking on the pitch and the experience that I had on the pitch did contribute to that level of performance. But again, I wasn't happy with the result. You know, I don't want, you know, particularly at home, I want to win games, but from where we were, you know, in terms of the level of performance, I was pleased with that. And if we can get that consistency and take that into games, because we've got a player in the team at the moment, in Simon Murray, that's 17 goals now in all competitions. So I hope that we're now in a position that we can get into games and 1-0 Simon Murray goals enough.
Thank you.
Tony, you've spoken about recent games in the league treating them as dog fights and as cup ties themselves. I'm just wondering, with this one, I guess the difference being that it could be extra time, it could be penalties.
It's reality now, isn't it? You're either in or you're out. When you get into a cup tie, you say that to the players, you know, treat every league game like a cup tie, but when you're in a cup tie, it is a cup tie. You're either in the cup or you're out the cup. And you've got the opportunity, whether it's 90 minutes, whether it's 120 minutes, whether it's 120 minutes plus penalties, but you've got the opportunity to put yourself into the next round. And to get the football club into the next round, as I say, we haven't done that as a football club since 2006, then you know, it's a massive motivator, that. It's a huge carrot. So the players are aware of that. You know, they know what's on the line, and we'll do everything we can, starting players, finishing team, to do all we can to go over the line and get to that semi-final.
You've spoken about those recent performances, noticing an upturn almost in that consistency. How much do you think a semi-final spot at Hampden could be a real catalyst, you know, for your season and for the mood around the fans?
Yeah, well, absolutely. Everybody wants you want to do as well as you can in every competition, particularly the cup. So if you've got an opportunity to be part of a team that plays in a cup final, and as I say, at this club, it's part of history. You know, you want to do that. So that is a huge motivator. But at this stage of the season, you use everything you can to motivate the players. But they're a group that motivate, you know, individually. They motivate themselves as well. So it's important that we focus on what we can do to get through the next round of the cup.
Just finally from me, obviously quite a exciting Edinburgh derby at the weekend. Did you take any food for thought from that, how Hibs played against Hearts?
Listen, it's like every game, you know, every opponent you look at least the last three performances, because you see patterns, you see trends, and that game, it was a brilliant game. I've got to say, I really enjoyed it. But yeah, there's things to take from it. There's things to take from matches previous to that as well, you know, in terms of the way they play it, and we've done that as an analysis tool. We've done that just to look at Hearts and see that they have, you know, they've got very good players. Hearts, they've recruited extremely well from the start of the season, and we know the strengths that they've got as a team, but we also know that there's weaknesses there, and we'll be hoping to do all we can to exploit those weaknesses.
Cheers, Tom.
With the game being on Friday and away from home, recent form, etc., from there that Dundee have had, and obviously the last game, is it fair to say that perhaps Dundee are not favourites going into this game? But on the balance of that, does that take a bit of pressure off the shoulders of the players going out there, not knowing that they're not the favourites to win?
I think you'd have to say that in recent, you know, matches against them, we're not going in as favourites. But you're right, that can bring, you know, a bit of pressure off the players. You know, a wee bit, you know, there's no way it won't affect performance levels, but maybe psychologically, you know, it helps them in that way. So, but listen, we'll be doing all we can to make sure it's a brilliant fixture. You know, it's Friday night under the lights. We're taking with all our allocations been sold, so we're taking a really healthy support down there. I know what they're like, that away support. They're fantastic. They're so vocal. And with their backing behind us, with us being in what I see in the group at the moment as a really positive group, you know, so with us taking down that positivity and confidence and seeing it as an opportunity to get to the next stage of the Scottish Cup for the first time in 19 years, then hopefully we'll do all we can to make that happen.
Even with the runners of results that have been there, that fan base has just been so great behind Dundee all the time. What does that do for the players when they're running out to a game and they've got that behind them?
It's huge, it really. And if you speak to any of the players when you do your interviews with the players, it does. The players all comment on that, just how much the fans getting behind them can affect performance, you know. And you can see that, and particularly when it's an away support, you run out that tunnel at Tynecastle and look to your right, and you see them and you hear them. Of course, that gives you, you know, because you're playing in a stadium. It's an intimidating stadium. It's really on top of you all the time. But when you look to see your support and that level of support you're getting and hear how vocal they are, then of course that gives everybody a shot in the arm. And I know they'll do that, you know. And I just hopefully it's that kind of relationship that, you know, we feed them and they feed us, and together we can come away with a positive result and look forward to a day at Hampden.
Tony, I read that you're looking for retribution against Hearts. Is that what you've told the players to kind of aim for, a bit of revenge?
Where did you read that?
It was in a few of the websites I was on last night.
All right, don't know what website I said that. I wasn't aware of that, no. But no, listen, there's a personal pride, as it says, for all players, and that was a performance and a result on that day that, you know, professionally we didn't represent ourselves properly, you know. So we're all keen to do that, staff, players, to represent us as professionals as best we can, and we've got an opportunity to do that, and we've got an opportunity to do it in cup competition and to go as far as we can in this cup. So we'll be making sure we do all we can to take that opportunity.
And does the 6-0 still play in the back of your mind, given that was the last score that you
I think no, I don't, because it's a different set of players, different circumstances. It's a cup tie, it's a different venue, you know. So it's really important that we just analyse this game as a game against Hearts, that, you know, and it's at Tynecastle, and as I say, they're a good team. They've got strengths, they've got weaknesses, but, you know, we're a good team, and it's important that we bring everything that we can to give us every chance of winning the match.
So yeah, very simply, just give us your thoughts ahead of the game on Friday.
I think obviously it's a great game to play, quarter final, and obviously everyone is motivated and excited, so I think great game to play.
Big opportunity, isn't it, to get to the semi-final and get to Hampden?
Yeah, definitely. I think in the cup we've been brilliant, so I think it's important to keep the positivity in the dressing room and everything, and see, like, after this quarter final it can be like obviously logically a semi-final, but that's a big thing to go to Hampden, so I think everyone is on it.
What's the mood like around the place going into this game? Because I would imagine the boys probably disappointed to not win the last game, but it stops that run of defeats, doesn't it?
Yeah, like you said, I think as a football player and as a team, we always want to win, and there are like few results when maybe we could have picked up points, and obviously the last one, the draw, like you said, we stopped the losing streak, if I can say, but obviously we wanted the win, but now our head is directly focusing on Friday night.
Is this a welcome break from the league?
I don't know if it's a welcome break, but it's always good to be involved in the cup, if I can say. Like it's always good to play football match, and yeah, I think it's a great one for us. If
you were to get past Hearts on Friday night and get to the semi-finals, yes, have all that to look forward to, how big a kind of lift could that give everyone, and is that the kind of result that could really have a positive impact on your league campaign, because everyone knows what they can be aiming towards, a cup semi-final, and would want to play their way into that team? I think definitely this type of game is like you win or you're out, so I think you need to give 100%, and like every other game, but everything is possible in the cup, and of course the objective for the team and from everyone in the staff, I believe, is to be in this semi-final, so there's this clear objective, and I think everyone, I can see, like from the training and from everyone, is really focusing on this point. Obviously the last time you played Hearts, it didn't go according to plan. Just if you take a step back and look back at that game, how kind of key a moment was that result in terms of the results which then followed after that? did that have a big impact, perhaps, on the mood around the place, the confidence or the morale in the group?
You meaning like for the games coming?
No, the last time you played Hearts, the 6-0.
Yeah, I think like as a footballer, you don't want to lose football game, but especially like conceding like 6 goals is not good enough. So I think it's normal to like, we don't want this type of things to happen, but now this game is gone and it's a totally new game. So I think everyone knows it's the cup and they're a good team, but we're also a good team, and we need to show that on the pitch.
Does what happened at Dens Park against Hearts a few weeks ago give you guys perhaps an added incentive to go down to Hearts to show everyone the real Dundee?
Yeah, I think the real Dundee hopefully will show that Friday night, but I think in everyone's head, like, is more the focusing of going to Hampden, definitely, but of course, I think in everyone's got ego and it's got pride, and everyone wants to perform at their best in Friday night.
Just a final one from me in terms of yourself. You're obviously back playing now. I'm just wondering how frustrating a period it was for you, because you were out for, was it 3 months?
Yes,
3
something
months?
like that, yeah.
How frustrating a time was that for you, and how keen are you to really start playing your part now and getting the team moving in the right direction?
Yeah, like of course, like you said, then I said that previously it was my first injury. I've never been injured before, so I think I've learned a lot. And of course, I'm really happy to be back on the pitch and playing, but what I want is obviously perform like as a team and get the results and get the team where I think we need to be.
Thank you. So yeah, just with yourself being back from injury, with Joe, the skipper, being back, the squad is rapidly approaching full strength now. How confident are you that with the best guys available, you can really push on now as a team?
I think it needs to be like a real belief, and what I see every day in the training ground is that belief is there. So, of course, like myself, when I was injured, like I was doing my best to come back as soon as possible. Now, thankfully, I'm back, and my focus is just to play as good as I can and perform for the team and help the team like win games and create a momentum around the place.
And how important is it that the guys, as one defensive unit against Hearts, they don't have any nasty flashbacks about the last time you met Hearts, and just you have to be really solid defensively this time, don't you?
Yeah, of course. But I believe in every game you need to be solid, because obviously you get punished. So of course there is this pass, but like I said, it's totally different context, totally different game, and I think that's the main thing, is focusing on this game and see like if we're winning, there's this big opportunity at Hampden, and that's the main thing, I believe.
Ziad, you mentioned that was your first injury in your career. Just tell me a bit about your mindset, how you felt as a professional in that time, given that it was your first.
Yeah, no, to be honest with you, like I remember when the doc called me, I didn't expect that, like, because I've never had an injury. So it was like at the beginning a bit of shock, but after like you try to do like all the right things to be back as soon as possible, like to improve your sleeping, your diet, all the small details, like having the good people around you, and otherwise you're just wasting your time. So even improve like area, even watch tactically more football and stuff maybe you can't done when you're playing. So I believe, like, of course I don't want to be injured again, but I try to use this time the best as I can. So now it was like a learning experience for me, but hopefully not many more, hopefully.
And Joe Shaughnessy as well, back from injury. Just a word on him. How important is he, do you think, as part of that defence? Someone to look up to in that defence for Dundee.
Yeah, definitely. He's got a big experience in the game, and he's a really good person. There's the football obviously, but as a person, he's a really good person. I think he's a real leader, and he's got this composure that you need, especially in area of the pitch, like as a defender. So no, I believe like he's a great addition for the team, and yeah, of course, it's good to have him back. Really good.